Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session we are going to look into a state. So let's understand this topic. So in the earlier session we have looked into props, where we have understand about props that is get passed to the component through function parameter. If you look it over here, we are passing the prop through the parameter. This is an arrow function and this is the parameter of the arrow function. As it is containing only single value, that's the reason we haven't provided the parenthesis. So this is what we have seen in our earlier session. Now let's understand that what actually the state is and why a state is needed. One thing you always remember about prop is that props is immutable. So that means once it is being assigned, you can't change the value of the props. So this is the issue with props. So to handle such scenario where we want to change the value of a component at the runtime, then state will come to rescue us. So how it rescues us? State is managed within the component and we can easily change the value of the state with the help of setState function. When we are writing the class component, then we will use this .state to assign the state value for a component. In a JavaScript term, state is nothing but an object where we can keep key value pair to hold the information which is required within component. So let's understand with an example. First we will understand that why props can't be used and how immutable behavior of props stops us to update the value while runtime. So to make the example more meaningful, I am going to introduce another properties which is containing the color for the div, and this color will represent whether the user is a silver member or whether he is a gold member. So let's do the modification. So let's use the style tag over here. A style I am going to discuss later in the course in some other session. For a time being, just to remember that how you can apply a style to the React div. So you can write something like this. There are various ways we can do, but for a time being I am just using this one. So here you can specify the double curly braces, and within that we need to specify background color, and over here we need to specify the props which I am going to use, and I am going to use membership type. I am going to pass a color code over here. Save it. Now go to the app.js, and from here we need to specify type. The user is a silver member, so I am passing it gray. Save it. Now let's look into the output, and you will find it over here. It has applied the background color which is representing the person is a silver member. So now what I want to override this color while clicking of a button called upgrade membership, so that it will change to gold membership. So prior to writing such feature, let's look into the problem of props when we try to change the value at runtime. So for example, if you go to header.js, and over here if you want to assign a value to the props.mtype, and here you are assigning as a gold membership gold, then you will find that it will fail because we are trying to assigning the value at which we have already assigned over here. Now again we are assigning props value with the gold, so it will throw us the error. So let's look into the error, what error we will get. So see here, it has thrown the same error that cannot assign read only property mtype of object, this one. So see here, it has thrown the error over here. So how we can resolve this error? So let's look into that. So to resolve this error, I'm going to change this functional component as a class component so that I can use a state object and build the logic for the requirement, as state offers us to override the value at runtime. So let's do it. First delete this line, this is not being required. Now over here I need to change the export from class, and const will go, and over here I need to specify extends component. Once it is being done, then we will change it to render function, render. Once it is being changed, cut this out, curly braces, and within over here we will specify that. Now the third step, we need to introduce the constructor, so that whenever an object is being created, it is being initialized. So the pattern should be like this. We need to specify constructor keyword, and along with that we need to also specify super keyword, so that it will pass the value to the component which is the super class of this particular component, header component. So this is a pattern, you should remember it. And then afterward we need to specify like this dot state. I'm going to create an object state, and within that I'm going to have a key value pair like mtype, and I will specify earlier the user is a silver member, so I will specify gray, save it, and I will remove this one, this M type from here, because I don't want to pass it as a property. So once it is being done, we can also export it, as we have used the named export, so I can tell export, then this error will go away, save it. And over here we are getting various error. To resolve this error, we need to specify this keyword, this dot props, again for each of the props which we have used earlier with the functional component. Here we need to use this dot props. Same is the case with this one, this dot props and this dot prop. So now we should make sure that we are returning it. Currently we are not returning, so that's the reason we are getting below error. Make sure that everything is being returned like this. We should specify over here return, save it, the semicolon you should remove it, make sure that you are closing it at a proper place. Control X, Control V, save it. Now this is being done. Now let's look into the output. So output came very well. Now we need a button over here which I will click, and I will tell that upgrade membership, so that it will change the color from silver to gold. So let's do it, and over here we will introduce a button, and here we need to specify, say, upgrade membership. Now we have created it. Let's look into the output. Now we got some ugly looking button, that is fine. If you click it over here, you will not get any functionality. Now let's add the functionality. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code. So to add it a click event, we need to specify on click. So remember the camel casing, as it is a part of React naming convention, so you should remember it. And over here we need to pass the arrow function. So within the curly braces I am going to define an arrow function, and which is being called this dot upgrade. I'm going to define this method upgrade membership. So I have defined a arrow function. Now let's create this upgrade membership. So over here we will go up, and then we need to create upgrade membership over here. And what this method will do, this will call this dot set state, and this set state is used to update the value of the state. So which value I want to update? I'm going to update M type. So let's do it. Over here within the curly braces I need to specify M type, and I want to change it to the gold membership. So I'm going to change the color, save it. So let's look into the output. And prior to seeing the output, you have to make sure that you are going to change it over here, state, from props to state, and save it. Now let's look into the output, and over here let's click on upgrade membership, and then you will find that it has changed the color. So now the David Johnson user is from silver to gold. So this is just a demo. With the help of this demo, I wanted to demonstrate you how to use a state object and how we can change the value of state object at runtime. So now let's proceed further. If you have any doubt about on-click method and event binding, then don't worry. I'm going to have a detailed session in the upcoming sessions. So on this note, I'm stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.